Hey everybody, welcome to Cage My IQ. As always, I'm your host, D-Baked. Today we will be previewing Bellator 262. Julianna Velasquez going up against Denise Kielholtz for the women's flyweight championship of the world. This is the first Bellator fight in a couple weeks since we had Timothy Johnson lose his fight against Valentin Moldavsky for the interim heavyweight championship. As always, before we get to the fight predictions, this is Cage by IQ, the best place for MMA content. You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch under the hashtag at CageMyIQ. And then you can follow us on YouTube at Fighters First. We are with Fighters First now, of course. So all you got to do is go to YouTube, put in at Fighters First, subscribe to the channel, and check out all the content on there. It is Cage My IQ, Art of MMA, and there will be more podcasts on there for your pleasure. If you like MMA or wrestling, go to Fighters First. That's going to be the place to go. And we have merch now right there. All you got to do is go to fightersfirst.shop, scroll down to the Cage My IQ collection, and check out our two shirts that we have. It's basically the same shirt, but different style. One is vintage and one is old school. And then we have the hoodie right there. So if you want to get a hoodie right before fall starts, now's the time to do it. Just go to fightersfirst.shop, go down to our Cage My IQ collection, and check out our merch and let us know what you think. But let's get started with the preview for Bellator 262 right now. The first fight that we have on here is a men's middleweight matchup between Johnny Eblen going up against Travis Davis. Johnny Eblen is a superior wrestler who is 8-0 in his career. Shockingly, he's won most of his fights by submission, but most of the submissions are by knockouts by tap, where he has the guy pinned down on the ground and he's ground and pounding him, and he just makes the opponent tap. So not only can he wrestle and get takedowns really well, but he can also really do good on ground and pound. And then he has very underrated striking, kickboxing, and then the submission game. Whereas his opponent, Travis Davis, has pretty decent wrestling. He can take the guys down. He can get a couple submissions here and there. He has that on his repertoire. But at the end of the day, I just think that Johnny Eblen is the more polished fighter. He's gonna be he's more of like a prodigy than Travis Davis is. Travis Davis seems more like a journeyman, and I feel like just at the end of the day, I feel like I'm gonna go with Johnny Eblen by round 2 ground and pound, because I feel like he's gonna be able to combat the wrestling of Travis Davis, get him down, and just eventually be too much striking wise on the ground with him having more superior wrestling and grappling. So for this one, I'm going Johnny Eblen by round 2 ground and pound knockout. The next matchup we have on here is a matchup, a women's featherweight matchup between Arlene Blencowe going up against Dayana Silva. This is going to be an interesting matchup because it's in the women's featherweight division. As you know, a lot of the fights in this division don't really have that much striking. It's more about footwork and quickness, and then if you can get that one takedown or that one significant strike or not. And Dayana Silva, she has a pretty decent striking, but it seems like at times she is reluctant to throw, and then she's not going to go for any takedowns, so you can kind of take that off the board. Whereas Arlene Blencowe, who's ranked in the top 5 of the division, she's the quicker striker, she's the more powerful striker. She might once in a while go for a takedown, but in this matchup, I don't think she's going to do that. I think she's going to keep the fight on the feet, and she's just going to just hit her because she's more aggressive. And I feel like she's going to get more of the significant strikes over Dayana Silva. And I don't see a knockout happening, but I could see Arlene Blencowe win by unanimous decision, just with the more aggressiveness and Silva being too reluctant at times to throw when she should be throwing. Blencowe will be able to get ahead on the scorecards, even with the volume not being as high as you think a fight would be between the two of them. So for this one, I got Arlene Blencowe by unanimous decision victory over Dayana Silva. The third fight in the card that we have on here is a bantamweight matchup between Matheus Mattos going up against C.J. Hamilton. This is a really interesting matchup because C.J. Hamilton has been going back and forth between wins and losses over the past few years, but all the 4 or 5 losses that he has are against top talent in both the UFC and Bellator. And he really just, the only thing he struggles against is wrestlers. He at times he struggles to defend a takedown. And his opponents get him down and just hold him down. And even though Matheus Mattos has that grappling background where he can get guys down, I think in the striking game he falls short a little bit on what he could do from an overall aspect. And if CJ Hamilton can just defend 1 or 2 takedowns, I feel like he can keep the fight standing and just piece him up with the striking and his kicking, and just sneak by with the unanimous decision victory. Because if Matheus Mattos, all he can do is get the takedown and hold him down, and say he gets stuffed once or twice, it's going to be hard for Mattos to win this. Whereas C.J. Hamilton has more paths to victory than Mattos. He can win by a unanimous decision. He can win by knockout. He can even win by a standing submission. So for this one, I think that C.J. Hamilton stuffs at least 1 takedown. I think it's going to go 1-1 going in the third, and then the third, I feel like Mattos might lose steam, and then C.J. Hamilton will pick him apart in the striking and standing aspect, and then he'll get by with the 2-1 split decision victory over Matheus Mattos. So C.J. Hamilton by split decision. In the co-main event of the evening we have on here, we have a heavyweight matchup between Matt Mitrione going up against Tyrell Fortune. Matt Mitrione, aka Meathead, is coming in with a 4-fight losing streak. He's very well known for his time in the Ultimate Fighter, UFC, and then coming over to Bellator now. He's been slowing down now since he's been getting older. He has that knockout power, and he relies a lot on it, but he doesn't have that great of a gas tank anymore, and he's susceptible to getting knocked out now. And like in his last fight, he lost to Timothy Johnson by first round knockout, where he just got the heck knocked out of him. And then you got Tyrell Fortune, who's been a fan favorite in Bellator the past couple of years. He's been able to get on a good roll and win fights. He can take you down. He can throw with you. He does have a couple of knockouts, but he usually wins by decision victories. And in this fight, I think if he tries to stand and trade with Mitrione, he could win, but there's that 1% chance, or that slight chance that Matt Mitrione can knock him out because he's the more desperate fighter. This could be his last fight if he loses. Whereas Tyrell Fortune, if he can use the takedowns, take down Mitrione, wear him out, and then just ground and pound him, he could win an easy unanimous decision victory over Mitrione, because Mitrione struggles against that aspect of the game. And I feel like in this matchup, I feel like that's what's going to be. I think Tyrell Fortune's going to go the smart route. He's going to take him down, ground and pound him, look to get a submission maybe, or just pressure him on the ground, and because he's going to wear out Mitrione pretty early, and it's going to make Mitrione make mistakes later on in the fight where he can actually Fortune could be able to stand up and throw strikes at Mitrione while he's too tired. So for this one, I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm going to go with a unanimous decision victory for Tyrell Fortune over Mitrione, and it'll likely be Mitrione's last fight in the promotion. Now we head on to the main event of the evening, the championship fight that we have on here. We got a women's flyweight championship matchup between the champion Julianna Velasquez going up against the challenger Denise Kielholtz. And then this is going to be a very entertaining fight here. As you know, Julianna Velasquez just won the championship from McFarlane a few months ago. And then, of course, Denise Kielholtz has been waiting for her shot at the title now. And now they're going to be doing this in the main event on Friday night. Julianna Velasquez is going to have the height in reach, and she's more of the grappler style who likes to clinch her opponent, get him down, and then ground and pound him. Whereas Denise Kielholtz is going to want to stand up and throw strikes and just keep moving and use her speed to attack Julianna Velasquez. And this fight will all depend on who can enforce their will on the other and get their game plan to work better over the other, because this is, of course, a 5-round fight. So the game plan is always different from a 3-round fight where you got a game plan for longer. And I feel like with Julianna Velasquez, she has that experience now fighting in a championship fight and then being in that pressure situation. I think she's going to be able to withstand Denise Kielholtz striking. I think the key here will ultimately be if Velasquez can take down Denise and get her on the ground for any bit of time in this fight. And I feel like at the end of the day, I could see this fight going back and forth for the first few rounds. And then when it comes to round 4 and 5 between a striker and a grappler, usually a striker has a little bit of advantage because a grappler is wasting more energy trying to take their opponent down. But I'm going to give the edge to Julianna Velasquez because she can throw strikes and trade on the feet. It's just not her best trait. Her best trait, like we said, is the grappling. And I feel like if she can win a round or at least one round in the first 3 rounds just by striking, I feel like it's going to be the favorite for her, because then she can go into round 4 and 5 and use the grappling and just take down Denise and hold her down and hit her with strikes and ground and pound and look for submission on the ground in this fight. And at the end of the day, my pick is I got Julianna Velasquez by round 4 submission. I feel like she's going to be able to wear Denise in the first few rounds. She's going to stand up and train with her, and then she's going to take her down a couple of times. And then once it comes to the championship rounds, I feel like Denise might tire her out a little bit from dealing with the pressure of Julianna Velasquez, and it's going to open her up to take a little bit more risks on the feet. And then Julianna Velasquez is going to capitalize, and I feel like she's going to beat her by 4th round submission. So in this women's flyweight championship, I got Julianna Velasquez by 4th round submission, and she's going to retain her flyweight championship this Friday night on Bellator 262. That will wrap things up for the Bellator 262 Julianna Velasquez versus Denise Kielholtz championship card right here on Cage My IQ. As always, I'm your host, D-Bake. Before we get going, we got our sponsors to let you know about. We got 99 Jersey. Use promo code SportsBoxShow20 at checkout to receive 20% off your next purchase. We got Oddsjam. All you got to do is go to the link in the bio, sign up, and watch as you never miss a bet again. Oddsjam is a company out there to where you can sign up and they give you different odds for bets to choose from, and to help making the process of making a bet a lot easier. And once you sign up, it's hard to lose a bet again. So all you need to do is go to the link in our bio on the video, click it, sign up, and then just enjoy the fact that you'll never lose a bet again. And then lastly, we got High Tide Herbal. Use promo code CageMyIQ10 at checkout to receive 10% off your next purchase. High Tide Herbal is a company owned by coaches and athletes who specialize in quick recovery. All their products have CBD oil in them to help with this quick process of recovering from an injury or anything of sorts. So if you're that athlete that needs to recover or wants to help his body get better over time, go to www.hightideherbal.com, use promo code CageMyIQ10, and then check out all the products and then watch as it could get 10% off your next purchase using that promo code. And then, of course, lastly, we got the merch here. Like I said in the beginning of the video, go to fightersfirst.shop, scroll down to the Cage My IQ collection, click there, and look at all of our merch that we have out now. Let us know what you think. And then lastly, before I get going, comment on the video. Let me know what you think of my picks. Let you know what you think of our new partnership with Fighters First, and just follow us and let us know what you think of everything. But that will wrap things up for this video. As always, Cage My IQ. This is D-Bake, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Talk to you guys later.